You're listening to Sip and Grow the podcast, the show where we taste awesome, delicious wines while having unfiltered conversations about our passions, experiences, struggles, entrepreneurship, and life. My name is Nicole Di Pasquale, and I'm a wine enthusiast just trying to pursue her passions and dreams while taking you on the journey with me, one episode at a time. My ultimate goal is to not only bring you wine knowledge and value, but also inspire you to enjoy your process and journey in pursuing your passions and dreams. Because guess what? The person you become while enduring the process is more important. So sit back, grab a glass, and let's sip and grow together. Welcome back to another episode of me drinking wine and telling you about it while also talking about whatever has come up in my life. But welcome back to another episode, guys. Today I went to Trader Joe's. Let me start there. I went to Trader Joe's and the corner of my eye saw something and I was like, nah, this can't be. This can't be real life. This can't be happening. This can't be a ripasso from freaking Valpolicella for $11.99 at Trader Joe's. But it sure was. And not only was it $11.99, it had the DOC certification on top, which if you guys want to learn more about the certifications and the classifications for Italian wines and basically Italian wines 101, I actually have a downloadable PDF in my bio with a bunch of information. It's like a cheat sheet for being able to understand Italian wines, basically. But they have this like 4-tier system where the top tier like certification or classification for wine is DOCG, and then the second tier is DOC, which is what this one is, right? So it's basically just a bunch of like requirements and regulations that they need to follow in order to make like the best possible wine out of that area. So if you have the top one, there's only about like I think 78 regions or areas, not regions, because there's like within certain regions, there's like what's it called, appellations, or like, yeah, appellations I think is what it's called, like zones within the region. Like for instance in Valpolicella, so Valpolicella is located in the region Veneto, which is northeastern Italy, right? So think on, if you're looking at the map directly in front of you, it's up to the right hand side. And this is, they have within the Veneto region in Verona, like Verona is within Veneto, they have like this red wine district or appellation zone, whatever you want to call it, called Valpolicella. And from this region, you get the most popular, I guess the top two like big dogs from this region is Amarone and Ripasso. This one today, we're trying a Ripasso, and I'm going to kind of explain the difference between Amarone and Ripasso. But going back to the classifications, in the DOCG category, there's another region called Piemonte, which is where Barolo is created or comes from. And that Barolo appellation is solely like whatever comes out of there is solely like DOCG certified. So they meet all that Barolo area or red wine district, whatever you want to call it, meets the requirements necessary to be considered a DOCG Barolo, which all Barolos are DOCG. So like their certifications are basically the zones within Italy, and then there's certain wines that come from those zones. So from Valpolicella, you can have a DOC Ripasso, and you can have a DOC Amarone. I wonder, I don't remember if Amarone also if it's DOC or DOCG. I have to look into that. I'm not sure, I don't remember. But basically, today we're going to be opening up Ripasso. This is a 2021 Ripasso Superiore, and it cost me $12 at Trader Joe's, which I've already tried this before. It's phenomenal for a ripasso. I think if you're trying to go to like a dinner party or something, I think this is, or you're hosting a dinner party, I could say. I think this is a really good wine that everyone will genuinely enjoy. So the difference between a ripasso and an amarone, they both come from the same place. So they come from this place called Valpolicella, right? Which is located in Verona, Italy, in the region of Veneto. You got it. So basically, Amarone is mostly made of the grape varietal called Corvina, which a ripasso is also made up mostly of the grape varietal Corvina and it's Corvina and Corvinone, right? So Amarone, hold on. Hold please. We dropped the wine key. Oh, Jesus. We dropped the wine key. Very important. We need to open the wine. So Amarone, it goes through this process. Like if you look up Amarone, like Google it, it's super expensive. I think the cheapest Amarone I've found was actually at Trader Joe's, and I think it cost $35, which is super cheap for an Amarone. And the reason why it's so expensive is because basically when the grapes are harvested, aka they are picked from the vines, what they, instead of like picking the grapes, then processing them to be fermented, what they do is they actually either put them in wooden crates, plastic crates, or like a bamboo drying tray, and they dry the grapes. So there's two different processes that you can go about drying the grapes. It's called Appassimento. Yeah, Appassimento. Sorry, it's an Italian word. It's Appassimento, which this is the entire process of like drying the Corvina grapes, or mostly whatever grapes they're gonna use for the Amarone blend. But generally, an Amarone is mostly made up of Corvina, and then they'll throw in the what's the other one with the C? Corvinone or Rondinella. I had to write them down because I honestly, the only one I know from Valpolicella is Corvina, and then the other ones I always like forget the names. But basically what they do is they pick the grapes, they put them in these crates or the bamboo tray, and there's two ways of drying it. You can either have the grapes in like an air conditioned room, and they can dry them in that like controlled environment, like you basically air dry them between like 100 to 120 days, or you can traditionally dry them, which would be since it's like winter time when they harvest, it's not hot, but they basically would leave it in a room, and they'd have one window on one side of the room open and the other on the other side of the room open, and they just would allow like the wind of the winter like blow through to get circulation in the room, and then ultimately wait until the grapes are like half their weight from when they originally came in. So you can either leave it 100 to 120 days, or you can wait until the grapes weigh half of the weight, like they go down half the weight from when they first came in, basically. So you're gonna get like a raisin grape almost. And I know what you're thinking, or you might not be thinking this, but I thought this. I was like, wait, but what if mold forms on the grapes? Mold is actually not a terrible thing. And actually doing the traditional way of like drying the grapes kind of helps control the mold, if that makes sense. But mold can actually give you some complexity, like a lot of complex flavors to add to the wine. And overall, the reason why Amarone is like more expensive is because when you get the dried berries, there's a lot less juice in them than when they first were harvested, right? So like you're gonna have to use a lot more of the little berries to create a bottle of wine. So that's why it's so expensive, because they're basically using more grapes to make one bottle of wine, versus like if you were to like harvest the grapes and then ferment the wine, like you can probably make triple or quadruple the amount of wine. It's a different flavor. You extract different things from the almost dried berry, you know what I mean? So with that said, that is why Amarone is more expensive than Ripasso. Ripasso is known as baby Amarone. So the difference between the two is that a Ripasso is a combination of the grapes from Valpolicella, but it's mostly made of the two grapes that I mentioned. So Corvina, which is the main grape varietal used in Amarone, and Cor, I can never say it, Corvinone. So Ripasso is mostly made up of Corvinone and Corvina. Corvina being like the top dog grape varietal in this situation, and then they'll throw in a couple of other grapes from the region as well. But the process with Ripasso is very different than Amarone. So like the reason why Ripasso is considered baby Amarone is because the pumice of the leftover pumice is like the leftover pressed grapes from Amarone. So in an Amarone process, right? Like you dry the grapes, you then ferment the wine, and then you press the grape skins to get that the wine out, right? So like you take those grape skins or the pumice, the leftover stuff, and then they use that in order to and add it into the fermentation process for a ripasso. So what they'll do is they'll throw in the pumice with like all the fermented juice from the grapes that they decided to like put together. Again, mostly using Corvina and Corvinone, and then they'll like mix it all together, ferment the juice, press it all out, and then bottle it. Or they'll put it in the barrels and then bottle it after. But that's the reason why it's called baby Amarone, because you kind of use it's ripasso in Italian, translates to like repassed grapes. So like you're essentially using the grapes from that were already used to make Amarone, and then dumping it into this wine to make the ripasso, which you can still extract a lot of amazing flavors and things from that pumice from the Amarone, and that's the reason why they do it, because it's kind of like, I would consider it like liquid gold, and you don't want to waste it. So like they were like, you know what, instead of wasting this, you know, this liquid gold from the Amarone, we're gonna go ahead and repass it into the ripasso, and that's why it's called baby Amarone. So let's go ahead and open this wine actually, as this plane decides to pass over. I brought this today. I'm gonna make my life a little bit easier today and just open this up. Excellent. Well, that did not go as smoothly as it usually does. So I apologize for all my viewers out there. I apologize. I'm really excited to taste this one with you guys. I mean, I already tried it, but we're gonna try it again here on Sip and Grow, the podcast. Oh my gosh, this past week. Okay, dried cork. Hold on. Cork difficulties. I gotta stand up for this one. There we go. This past week was Valentine's Day, and it was so funny because we were. I was just like, well, I posted a video that I thought was hilarious. Oh my god, first of all, this cork is really dry. That was aggressive. I'm so sorry for all these noises. But it was Valentine's Day, and I had posted this video that was hilarious. But it got me thinking. It was so funny because I was like seeing a bunch of people post about like what they were doing, or like all these things, or like guys going out of their way. Like I literally went to that day. I had lunch outside, but I also went to, I think I went to Trader Joe's that day. Was that the day I bought this wine? No, no, no. I bought it on another day. I just had to get like groceries or something. I don't know what it was, but I went to Trader Joe's and I saw a huge line of men buying a bunch of flowers, which as they should, wine and flowers, A plus, A plus. But I was just like laughing and like talking about it with my friends that have significant others, and with like friends that don't, like combination. It's not like, every one of us were single talking about this. Like I was talking to multiple people, even married people. And it's so funny because I was asked actually by multiple people, like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just living my day like I live every other day. I'm not doing anything. But I was just like, to one of my married friends, I was like, literally, you should show love to all the people you love every single day. Like, it shouldn't just be one specific day where you show love and then that's it. And then peace out, Boy Scout. Like, I'm the type of person that if I'm a gift giver and I like to receive gifts too. So it's like, if I see something that reminds me of you, and we're close, obviously, because there's some boundaries that, obviously sometimes I want to get things for certain people, but like, it's like, they don't reciprocate the same. So like, whatever. Not saying that I'm just saying that for like a newer relationship, but what I mean to say is like the closer people in my life, right? Like I am someone who will definitely go out of my way because I saw something that reminded me of you, and I was like, you know what? I think that would really make their day, or I think they would really like this, or whatever. And I go out of my way and get it and give it to them randomly. But that's like my way of showing like, hey, I thought about you, or hey, this reminded me of you, and like whatever. But that's one of the many ways that I show love to my friends and family. And it just got me thinking, like, I think Valentine's Day is so funny because so many people make it a huge deal when at the end of the day, like, it really shouldn't be a huge deal. Like, every single day you should just, in one way or another, whether it be a gift, whether it be a comment, whether it be you just going out of your way to do something for the person that you love, like, you should just show it in many different ways each and every day. And it can be something big or it can be something super, super small and simple, but it's not, it shouldn't be that every single year on this one day is when you go big and do all these things. No, it should just be a fun day to like celebrate all the other days that you love each other. But that's just my hot take on that day. Let's go ahead and taste this wine because we're here. We're here for the more important things. Okay. So immediately, this color is gorgeous, like ruby red, through and through. It is a 2021, so I think it's like at the perfect time to drink. It has like very spicy notes, kind of like cinnamon, black pepper, and almost like dark red fruit notes, right? Like cherry, plum, and I'm even gonna say red currant is present there. Let's go ahead and drink it. Ripasso in one word, berrylicious. That's it. It's a wrap. Berrylicious ripasso. Buy it. You're not gonna regret it. No. It's so berry forward, but it's a good combination of like acidity with fruit flavors coming through, but it's not like the tannins are present, but it's not harsh on your throat. Like an Amarone, I feel like you would feel the tannins more present in an Amarone than in a Ripasso, depending on which one you drink. But I love how easy to drink this wine is, but it's also medium bodied. It's heavier on the body. It's not like full body, but it's not light either. So medium body wine, we love that. And again, I feel like it just goes down smoothly and it's very easy to drink. So if you are someone who likes a good balance between acidity, tannins, and berry flavors in your wine, I feel like this is a really good option. And it doesn't hurt to try it. It's $12. So, go to Trader Joe's, check it out. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But $12 is a reasonable price to spend on trying a different wine. Especially if you've never really drank Italian wines, I think this is a really good introduction to Italian wines. I would say either a Ripasso or a Nebbiolo would be a good introduction to an Italian wine, but that's just personal preference as well. But yeah, I feel like I should end this on a millennial note. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I can't believe I'm going to do this now, but I don't know if you guys remember that show. Was it on Disney Channel? Yeah, I think it was on Disney Channel, where the girl goes, "So long, farewell to you, my friends. So long, farewell, until we meet again. I said so long." Whatever, that song. So long, farewell to you, my friends. Drink your wine tonight, because I sure will. Cheers.